This is part 2 of the Annotated Bibliography Assignment Instructions. In part 1, in the video in part 1, we looked at the Annotated Bibliography Assignment Sheet and just gave you an introduction to the assignment. Now we're going to take a look in Blackboard at some of the supplementary materials that go along with this assignment. The first one we're going to look at is an example of an annotated bibliography. We look here, an attached file, open that up. You can see this is a sample of an MLA formatted annotated bibliography. We see at the top, they've got, the student has the heading. They've included a title. And then they have their citations listed here in MLA format, hanging indent, everything's double spaced. The sources are also listed alphabetically, as is the rule for MLA format. Under each citation, there is the short, approximately 5 sentences or so, 3 to 5 sentences, explaining the thesis of the reading, stating why it's a good source, and then also stating how you're going to use that source in your essay. And you can see here, this is just a very long example. Yours will only have 3 entries in this, on this assignment. The second supplementary material we're going to look at is the source evaluation materials. That's what you need to tell if a source is a good one to use on your essay. That is the CRAP test. When we open that up, you can see the title of the assignment or of this paper is called CRAP test. Humorously used to determine if your source is crap and should not be used in your paper, or if the source is a good one. The evaluation criteria, if you can answer yes to these questions, or you can find answers to these questions if the source is current, if it's relevant, if there's authority behind it, if the information is accurate, and then also the purpose that it was written. These questions that are underneath here, again, you don't have to answer them all, but you could pick out a few of those and use those as proof that your source is a good source. So, for example, you want to show that the source is relevant to your topic, you can talk about who the audience of the source is, that the information was presented at an appropriate level, and that that it relates, well to the topic of your research. And then the last link here in Blackboard is where you'll actually turn in your annotated bibliography assignment. That assignment is going to be worth 100 points, and so you want to make sure you do your best work on that. To find your outside sources, you are going to need to use the VU library to do so. The VU library link is also over here in Blackboard. We can see here the link for VU library. We can open that up. Once you're logged into Blackboard, you're also logged in to use the VU library. There are 2 particular databases that I would recommend looking for sources. The first would be, if you go to databases, A to Z, and we scroll down, it's the second one on the list, called Academic Search Premier. If you click on Academic Search Premier, it will allow you to search for articles related to your topic. For example, let's say that we are going to look at the relationship of teens with technology. We can click here, teens and technology use, and click search. And it's going to pull up all sorts of different responses. You can see here we have 834. You can limit your search over here to scholarly journals if you would like. Source types, I would say you want to probably stick with academic journals, possibly magazines, newspapers, and stick with those three. Also, as far as the date, we do want it to be current. We don't want to start the search with 1977. So we probably want that to be in the last 10 years. So if we go to 2007, maybe we want all sources from 2007 and beyond. That'll limit our sources to only current ones. So we're down to 644 sources, which narrows things down a little bit. As we scroll through here, then we begin to see some journals and different things that pop up. We want to also probably limit over here to full text, so we can actually read the articles, which cuts that down quite a bit to 248. So we see here teens, technology, and cyber stalking. Teens speak out, what technology high school really thinks about libraries, the balanced technology diet, which is prescribed for teens and parents. Once you see these, because we've limited it to full text, you can see PDF full text. You can pull up the PDF file here, and it will allow you then to see. When we actually pull this up, the balanced technology diet prescribed there is pretty short, so that may not be, it's just 3-4 paragraphs. That may not be a good source for us to use. But you would go through, again, maybe you want to do something on bullying and its relationship to, with teens and technology, but you have a wide use, and you can scroll through the different pages here. Another potential option for research, if we exit out of the academic search premier, we go back to the library databases A to Z. We click on the letter O, we can go to opposing viewpoints. And opposing viewpoints is a pretty neat site. It will allow you to search for topics, and it will present results that that give you people who agree with a topic and then people who disagree. So it gives you both sides of the argument. So for example, if we want to put in here teens and technology in here, you can see here we've got viewpoints, and there are 45. We may have to click on the link there to see all of the viewpoints. A lot of times these viewpoints, like for example, teens value technology, at the end of the source, it will give you further, more books, periodicals, other sources to look up. So sometimes you can find good links to things you can search for then from there. In addition to viewpoints, we see academic journals, we see primary sources, audio, podcasts, video, entries, news, images, and so forth. So these are a good place to start your search for your additional sources.